joined by Member of Parliament Swapan Dasgupta. Mr. Dasgupta, I think it is the ghastliness of this massacre that has brought it to national attention, but it also brings out the irony that every second day in Bengal, there are killings. Every second day there are killings, every week there are political killings, and it's reported as some kind of a political tit for tat. It does not get national attention. This time, because women and children are the victims, it is being spoken about and it is being debated. It has been raised in Parliament. Has the country become immune? Has New Delhi become immune? Has politics become immune to the political killings in Bengal?
Well, Arnab, I think you're completely right. And since May of last year, we've been seeing a spate of uninterrupted bloodshed. The post-poll violence resulted in the death of at least 56 BJP workers. There are some people who claim the figure is much higher. Countless others were made homeless, and some of them have still not returned to their home. In the past week or 10 days, there have been some 26 murders in West Bengal. Many of them are political. Now, you may be right in saying that this is not a political murder. Yes, it's not a political murder because it's not about ideology. It's a murder which is totally centered on the question of the division of spoils. It's now politics has become a criminal enterprise in West Bengal. And I say this with full justification and I think with full awareness of what is going on. I think there comes a point when people have to sit up and take notice. I think people have been taking notice of the Kashmir Files, the film, because they've suddenly belatedly acknowledged that what took place in 1990 went beyond the scope of endurance. I think Bengal is reaching such a point. And today, the sheer ghastliness of the whole exercise of some people say 8, some people say 10, some people say 12. We don't even have the accurate number of the casualties. We've seen the videos, and you're quite right that they can't be really shown on national television. But those videos tell you something. They tell a story. They tell a story of the mercilessness of the killers. They tell you the story that the impunity with which people can kill, despite the fact that a police post is that the police police station just 10 minutes away. And yet, for 3 hours, they can go on the rampage. They can chop off people's heads. They can douse an entire thing, an entire family. And you can't say it's political rivalry between one group and the other.
Absolutely.
Here is a case of the killers being from one community, the Muslim community, and those who were killed were all exclusively Muslim.
Yeah.
So it is not a communal incident.
Yeah.
And yet, Mamata Banerjee says that she's been active. She has rung up Rampur Hat 25 times. If she had rung up 25 times, would the district president of the local Trinamool Congress, the infamous Anubrata Mandal, first say, well, you see, a television burst as a result of which a house caught fire? Would he then change his story and say that it was a short circuit? Bobby Hakim, the mayor of Calcutta, one of the right-hand people of Mamata Banerjee, goes in there, says, all this is a monumental conspiracy against Bengal. I say it is a conspiracy of the Trinamool Congress against the people of Bengal. Because having won a mandate, now they are determined that there is no justification, no one can stop them, they can do anything they feel like.
No, on the contrary, Mr. Dr. Dasgupta, the mandate is used to justify everything, and the question is asked that who are you to ask questions? Don't you know that we have swept in the elections? That is the way in which answers are given, and there is an attempt to browbeat the media also. That if the media were to report this, and the fact is, This is a ghastly crime. Even everyone in the Bengal media has to report it. Otherwise, the attempt in Bengal is to just browbeat the media. I mean, when we reported on Basirhat, what happened in Basirhat, you remember very well, 2016, 2017, I think. We reported it on Republic in a big way. And a political leader then went to and said that we must have a FIR filed against Republic TV. Why? Because we were exposing what happened in Basirhat. And then, you know, the cops, they immediately on a daily basis say they want summons, they want to investigate. They say Republic TV is the reason why riots happened in Basirhat. It's a clear attempt at browbeating the media. We, of course, took it to court and we're going to win. But the fact is the attempt at browbeating has been going on. And what worries me, and I want you to talk about this, Sabha Dasgupta, I spoke about the silence of the lobby. They're almost vested in the Trinamool Congress and the Bengal government. So they feel that if they pick this up, even if babies are charged to death or women are killed and their heads chopped off, they feel that it will hurt their overall Delhi narrative. And so they're quiet about it.
Well, I think the Trinamool Congress has invested in them. I think the media in West Bengal is now a monumental scandal. I think they've been trying selectively to deny almost everything. What doesn't suit them is not even news. They are now hostage to the worst form of not even intimidation. I don't think they needed to be intimidated. They just had to be told, then they fell in. And even worse than the media are those people who in West Bengal flaunt themselves as one of the most enlightened intellectuals of the country. Their silence is inexplicable. Their silence is criminal. And anyone who dares question their silence, their complicity in some of the worst crimes which have been taking place in West Bengal is promptly regarded as communalists. And because the major task, as one of their intellectuals today said on television, look, the main task is for Mamata Banerjee to emerge as the main anti-BJP force. Ridiculous. And if she does anything, and if anything happens in the state, it will sour that image. So the implication, therefore, was, you know, it's very unfortunate what's happened, but let's somehow put a dampener on this.
Yeah.
Let's not allow it to get out of hand. Let's make it a local incident which only covers the Birbhum district.
Absolutely.
Let's something which is inconsequential.
No, I'll tell you, more than that. Actually, what they will do is, one channel says there have been burnings in Bengal. Burnings. They don't want to say massacre. They don't want to say killings. They don't want to say revenge killings. They want to say burnings. As if the women and children self-combusted and burnt. They don't want, and they want to say, is there tit for tat politics in Bengal become subject of the debate? Because you don't want to do anything which really tells you about the ghastly situation in Bengal.
You've been complicit in they've been complicit in everything. When ballot boxes were looted, when people were in this Birbhum district, when opposition candidates were prevented from even filing their nomination for the civic elections, when openly CCTV footage shows the organized scale of vote looting, they just looked the other way. Everything they've been looking the other way. Now comes the time, and I hope that at least the national outrage, I hope that the statement by the Prime Minister, which is very welcome, will at least force people to think, what the hell is going on? And we pride ourselves. Birbhum district, that's where Rabindranath Tagore Shantiniketan is located. This is supposed to be the district of Rabindranath Tagore, where he made his adopted home. And this is where it happens. And you say, oh, nothing really has happened. It's a conspiracy against Bengal.
People got burnt. Absolutely. I mean, what do we say, Swapan Dasgupta? It's beastly.
As a Bengali, it pains me that here, at one time, Bengal probably overdid the political protests. But here, we've swung to the other extreme. And we've swung to the extreme that where passivity, complacency, indifference, and worse than that, a willing accessory. You've been bought over. some people have been just bought over. Those who can protest have been bought over. I can understand people in the village of Bagtui, they're so scared that they can't really protest.
Yeah.
But what about the others?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question we need to ask ourselves.
No, we are asking ourselves
quite
this question.
shameful. It's really, I think, everything that makes me today think that this is one of the most shameful incidents which has ever happened. And I hope this blot on the face of Bengal prompts some rethinking on the part of the people of Bengal.
Well, we won't let them cover it up, Swapan Dasgupta. You spoke about the media. We have dozens of reporters on the ground from Republic Bangla and what the stories of what they are telling us about what has happened to the women and children in Birbhum. I think the people of the country need to hear about it. First, the heads of some of the women was chopped, the head was chopped, then their shoulders were chopped. Then the parts of the bodies were picked up and then bodies were made to burn. The children were placed inside the homes and then the homes were set on fire. And when the police fire brigade was nowhere there, the fire brigade was stopped from reaching the spot. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just...
I just want to add one more thing.
Yes.
The people who were killed, they were unceremoniously buried. There is a custom. There are certain rituals which accompany the burial of people. And even that elementary courtesy was not shown.
Yes.
And the question of a post-mortem, the question of DNA, and they've been just recklessly brushed aside.
The bodies of the children, they were burned to their bones, and the bodies of the babies, of the children, were singed in their entirety. I began today by saying, I don't know how people sleep at night. I don't know how in the name of politics, they look at themselves in the mirror. This is terrible. Swapan Dasgupta, I thank you for joining me. And I can assure you there's some really hardcore reporting going on the ground. We'll get to the bottom of this. Thank you, Swapan Da. And joining us...